Hey guys, it's Socks and welcome back to my channel for another speed build. It's been a little bit since I've been able to do a voiceover, apologies for that, but my boyfriend was visiting for a little bit, so all my speed builds just didn't have voiceovers. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. That's just what I did. Anyways, oh my god, guys. Okay, so the horse ranch pack is out. We know that now. And listen, I have my opinions. Probably will refrain from saying many of them in this video. But the one thing I will say is that the build buy mode in this pack is like one of my favorites of all time. It is so nice. So we are taking that pack as well as one other pack, also my wedding stories, because we're building in Tartosa today. We are going to build a functioning, I hope it's functioning, Nectary. It's actually on the lot in Tartosa. I believe it's called the Old Wood Nectary. Yeah, it did have something here originally. I just kind of bulldozed it, and we're going to kind of rebuild it, and we're going to make it like, you know, an actual Nectary, because we finally can. We finally have nectar makers. I don't know. I feel like it was weird of them to drop it in the horse ranch pack. Like, I feel like it would have made more sense my wedding stories, but you know what, whatever. I'm just happy we have them now. I'm really excited to use them. That was one of my favorite skills from The Sims 3, was the nectar making skills. So we're in Tartosa, we're building this beautiful nectary. The only packs I used in this build are the horse ranch and my wedding stories. I literally used nothing else, well, besides for base game, obviously. So it's kind of a pack limited build. I wanted to keep it fairly accessible. I don't know. Of course, it'll be up on my gallery. My gallery ID is iamsockss, but 2 S's at the end of the last socks there. It's in the description too if that's a little confusing. But with this build, I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth on like what I was doing. So for Nectary, I decided I wanted like obviously I wanted some like plants in the front yard. Like, I think they're just some debug like lettuce plant or something, but we're just gonna pretend they're like grape plants or something, okay? I just put them there because it was easy, and they're plants. They're not even that like big of a detail. They're kind of in the background anyways. But this front part here, I'm really happy and proud of. I kind of didn't know what I was doing. I had no plan really, but I'm just happy it turned out this well. It takes a little bit for it to come together. There's some interesting choices, and I do a lot of finer detailing and taking the paintbrush on the edges. I'm not very good at terrain paint, if you can tell, but I tried to, like, you know, give myself a good base and work from there. I still think it's really cute. I really like the yard on this one. I also had issues, like, I don't know, I still don't know where the front of the lot is on this lot. Like, I tried for so long to figure out, okay, what side is actually the front of the lot, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just decided I'd have that big back window facing the water, because I feel like it would be a nice scenic view. So I kind of more went for, like, I don't know, like, I know it's a nectary, but it's almost like an entire distillery, if you can say that. This summer, my boyfriend was here, as I said earlier, but he just went home, unfortunately. But we'd go to this distillery. It's about 45 minutes away from us, and we did it quite a few times, because first off, they had some bomb-ass food, oh my god, and they had some bomb-ass drinks too, and I'm not really a drinker, but oh my god, if I lived closer to that place, I would be a goddamn alcoholic. It was also my 21st birthday a couple weeks ago. I celebrated that kind of, you know, offline, but that was fun. Wait, when was it? Oh yeah, it was less than a week ago now. Oh my god. Time, I don't know why it feels like it's been longer than that. I don't know. The sense of time is so screwed. Oh yeah, I also graduated high school. Wow. It has been so long since I've done a voiceover. It's like so much I have to say. Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's so nice to be back though, talking on the channel again. I missed it so much. I miss these videos. I miss these ramblings and my speed builds, all these voiceovers. Yeah, going back to the build. So I was talking about it being more kind of a distillery, and I still kind of agree with that. There's a little bar area in the building, and I wanted it to kind of be like a functional bar, and there's also some tables for places to like for people to like eat and stuff. It's a nice spacious like open concept. I used the hell out of the new spandrels and columns from the pack though. Like, guys, the pack is so good. The columns, oh my god, the round wood columns, you have no idea how much I wanted those. They're so nice. This is like a must-have pack for builders. I think it's up there. I want to do a Sims ranking video of like all the packs, but only based on building. I want to do it solely based on building, nothing else. And I want to rank how worth it each pack is, just based on building. This is definitely up there. This is probably one of the best. And yes, I forgot, we got the freaking, oh my god, we got paintable ceilings. I am so happy we got these. They make the world of a difference when building, and they can like make or break a build, and I think they made this build. I think this build would have not been as good without those ceilings. That is, when I went into this build, that is the one thing I knew. I wanted a dark wood ceiling. Oh my god, my sister just moved into this house, and she has a ceiling kind of in the same vein as this one. It's a little more orangey in tone, but it's just so cute and cozy feeling. I love it. I am a sucker for rustic interiors. Yeah, like I said, you could see me going crazy with the spandrels on the columns, but I just thought, you know, wanted this rustic Nectary vibe. It also has a basement. That's where the actual nectar machines are. There's also some bathrooms in the basement. It's only 2, and they're like, you know, 1 toilet each. And I thought, I don't know, the bathrooms are gonna be a little weird because they have showers in them, right? And I figured, like, you know, people are coming through here doing tours and stuff, and they might be, you know, using the nectar machines downstairs, and like they'll have to clean themselves off afterwards, like as a part of the tour. Do you know what I mean? Like they get into those nectar bins, so maybe there's a shower for that purpose. That's what I was thinking, and that's what I wanted to do. So it made sense to me. Never been in a building like this before, besides for the distillery, but you don't smash grapes with your feet in a distillery, so yeah, I don't know. It would make sense to me to have showers at a place like this, just to help clean the feet off. At least it's a nice thing to provide for honeymooning couples. Oh my god, this is actually gonna be great for like, ooh, a honeymoon episode on my EP. We could go to this place. Dude, I'm so excited for the nectar making skill. It's just, like I said, it's one of my favorite skills in the game. And oh my god, the decorations in this pack. Guys, I promise, I'm not being paid. I'm not being paid to say this. But I am just genuinely so in love with all the items that came into this pack. I'm a farm girl at heart. One could even say I'm a bit of a closeted horse girl, even though I'm absolutely terrified of horses. They're horrifying. Like, I love them. I think they're majestic creatures, but also like kind of useless and like the worst evolved creature ever. Like, they're so inefficient. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. But like, you know what I mean? They're kind of like really weak and frail creatures, but they're also so majestic. And you know what? There's just part of me that like relates to that. But also, they're just so huge that they do freak me out, because I am that is like a fear of mine, just like things much bigger than me, like kind of in line with submechanophobia. I get made fun of when I say that, when I say, well, when someone asks me what my fear is and I say big things, like I get made fun of so much. Because it's like, yeah, I get it, but it's like true. It's like if there's like a massive object next to me that's like, it just seems inhumanly possible, like it freaks me out. And that's kind of what horses do, especially that they're like living beings. Like this thing could accidentally lift its leg and fucking kill me. So I'm scared of them. My grandma used to have a horse, Mickey, and I do miss her. She was a sweetheart. She was the only horse I think I was comfortable with. I think I was young enough to like not have irrational fears like that. Well, I mean, it's not irrational because they are pretty like large creatures, but it's like before I really realized that her horse, Mickey, was a sweetheart. She's really the only one horse I ever really got to know very well. I keep changing the size of this basement. It started really big and then it like ended up being half the size, I think, originally. The basement's really cute too. Not as cute as the main floor, but it's still pretty cute. And there are the nectar machines, of course. I like them. I think they're cute. I know one complaint with them is that they're just basically reskinned, what are they called, like brewing machines? The one from Eco Living, the brewing stand where you can make the fizzy sodas and stuff. It's like, yeah, I get that, but sometimes a lot of skills are. I haven't played with it yet, so I don't know if there's any like unique identifiers with the skill. I hope aging is a part of it again. I used to love aging because like it would also tell me like my Sims generations, kind of. Like I'd always when my first Sims in like a legacy would get married, I'd have them like make wine on their wedding, or sorry, nectar on their wedding, like honeymoon. Then I'd keep it for as long as I could. That was one of my favorite things to do. I hope they have aging. They might not. I would not be surprised if they didn't. I would be surprised if they did. I usually put the bar in hell for EA, so it's like that'll be awesome if they do, but I really don't expect it. I hope, though. That would just be nice. That's just the little details, man, that make this game, you know? Alright, here we go with the bathrooms, and of course, shortening this basement again. The bathrooms aren't really decorated all, too nice, but I mean, they're just kind of bathrooms. Like, I didn't go too crazy with the clutter in this. It's pretty, like, usable. And I wanted to make it usable. I want to see people play in this. Please, if you use this in your anything, if you play in this, send me screenshots because I'd love to see. I love this build so much. I would just, oh my god, I would die if I saw some of your Sims in it. But I am going to end this video here. Of course, I'd like to thank my patrons, Jacqueline Dream, Hanuo, and Esther. If you'd like to support me and my channel, the link to my Patreon is down below. However, that is never a necessity. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video of whatever I make. Bye.